Namaskar. My name is Ritika Majumdar, and today I'm going to discuss about a very important subject matter of macroeconomics, that is national income. So, national income is a composite measure of various economic activities such as production, consumption, distribution, and exchange. But it is also an important indicator of economic welfare of the people in the country. So, in India, Government of India established a commission that is called National Income Commission in 1949. They actually estimate the national income, and CSO, that is Central Statistical Organization, they publish and they compile the data on national income. National income of a country is expressed in terms of money because modern economy is a money economy. But in real terms, it is actually the value of all final goods and services that are being produced in a country within a year. There's a definition according to NIC. A national income estimates and measures the volume of commodities and services produced during a year of time, and it has been counted without duplication. There are important features of national income. These are: first, macroeconomic concept. It is a macroeconomic concept. Obviously, it is an amalgamation of various economic factors. I have already stated. So, it is a macroeconomic concept. Second one is value of only final goods and services. We are not including the value of intermediate goods. To avoid the double counting effect, we actually calculate the value of final goods and services. Third one in feature, net aggregate value. The net value of goods and services does not include the depreciation cost. And the depreciation cost is the wear and tears of capital assets. Number four, net income from abroad. Net income from abroad, actually, if we let X is equals to the export, the money we get, and M is the amount of import. So I have already written it because I do not have whiteboard. X minus M, that is net income from abroad, and R minus P is the receipt and the payments from abroad. So these are the net income from abroad. This is one of the features. The next one is a financial year. It is always considered a time factor, and in India, it has been calculated from 1st April to 31st of March. It's a financial year. Next is a flow concept, as because we are considering the time value, the time factor, it is not a stock concept. And the final one in feature, it is a money value. It represents as a money. The next one is a circular flow of national income. Basically, it has two parts. One, production flow, and another one is money flow. So we have two sectors, household and farms. I have already done the circular flow. So anyways, household and farm, we have four factors of production: land, labor, capital, and enterprises or entrepreneurs. Farms are using those factors and they produce flow of goods and services. And household sector, the people are getting those goods and services. This is called, the first circle is called the product flow, and the inner circle is the money flow. How? Like fact firms are like paying to the laborers and all the other employees as a factor payment, rent, wages. They're getting the money and then consuming the goods and services. The consumption expenditure has been done with this money. So it is a inner circle is a circular flow of money flow, and an outer circle is a production. Next, there are different concept of national income. First one is GDP. What is GDP? GDP is the gross value of gross market value of all the final goods and services produced within the domestic territory of a country a given period of 1 year. So obviously as we are calculating the GDP, we have an equation, and that is GDP is C plus I plus G plus X minus M. What is C? Consumption expenditure plus investment expenditure. G is government, and X minus M is the net income from abroad. The next part is NDP. NDP is the net market value of all final goods and services that has been produced within the territorial boundaries of a country during a period of 1 year. So in case of NDP, we have to deduct this one, like GDP minus depreciation. The next part is GNP and NNP. GNP, it is the gross value of final goods and services produced annually in a country, which estimates according to the price prevailing in the market. So, same, the GNP, gross national product, the equation of GNP is C plus I plus G plus X minus M plus R minus P, that is receipt minus payment. So next is NNP. We will get NNP from GNP minus depreciation. So next part is the measurement of national income. So there are three methods. First one is the output method. Next one is income method, and the third one is expenditure. So output method, also known as the product method or inventory method. Here we try to avoid the depreciation cost, and there are various sectors: agricultural sectors, mining sectors, communication sectors, transport sectors, manufacturing sectors. We are calculating all the output, final output of all the goods and services, and we try to avoid the double counting effect. So there are two parts, like from the output method. First one is the final goods and services. Here we try to avoid the double counting effect. And then next part is value added approach. So in case of value added approach, value added at each stage of production, it is a difference between the value of final outputs and the value of final input. So it is called the value added. Here GNP is calculated as a sum total of the value added by all the different stages of production. So there is a table, like for the production of shirt, let's say there are few raw materials like cotton, yarn, cloth, shirt. So let's say value of output, value of input of cotton 150, in case of yarn 250 minus 150, in case of cloth output value 400 and 250. So like the difference between the output value and the input value, we will add up all the things and we will get the final value. So this is called the output method. Then the next part is the income method. It is also like calculating all the sectors' income. They try to avoid the transfer payments. What are transfer payments? It includes scholarship, unemployment allowances, charity, pensions, etc. Because these all are the parts of government expenditure. So they are try to avoid the transfer payments. So here GNP is, in case of income method, it is like rent, wages, interest, profit. It is mixed income and X minus M, that is net income from abroad. Mixed income means those who are like independently producing and selling the service. So this is an expenditure method is like the national income, then it will be like consumption expenditure, investment expenditure, G is government expenditure, X minus M net income from abroad, and R minus P is net receipt. So the next part is there are a few difficulties. First is theoretical difficulties or the conceptual difficulties, and for the calculation of national income, obviously, and another part is practical or statistical difficulties. The final part I would like to go the importance of national income. So for the economy, it actually represents a social. It is actually a social accounts. So national policies are being done with the help of national income data. Economic plannings are being done with the help of I mean national income. Economic research are being done, are being it's already happening, and it's a long way to go for the research. And it also represents the standard of living of common people of India. And it is also shows the disparities of income. So this is it. Just for the time stipulation, I won't be able to discuss it any further. So I'm signing off. My name is Ritika Majumdar once again, and thank you.